who is next? Kim?
Can you give us an idea, either on the phone or at the front door, just a quick script of what you say when the people answer?
Sure. So are you doing an outbound call? Yeah, so there's a couple ways to do it. What we do is we actually don't sound professional. That's one thing we do, right? If you're too professional, you're going to get hung up on. What I want to come across of when you answer the phone is the guy next door looking to buy a house, right? Rule number one, never ask for the person you're looking for. Just assume, because you get the same answer regardless. What's your name? Kim, right? Yeah. If I call you and say, is this Kim? If it's you, you're going to say yes, but you're going to be apprehensive because you should know when I should know your voice when you say hello, right? If I say, hey, Kim, you're going to say, yeah, hey, how you doing? Now, if your name was not Kim, and I said, hey, Kim, you say, oh, you have the wrong number. But if I call and ask, hey, is this Kim? You have the option to still say this is the wrong number. So you still get the same answer as how you phrased in the beginning. So I never asked for the person. So, we call, say, hey, Kim, this is Max. I'm calling about the house on 123 Main Street. Yeah. Now, do I have the right number? Because I'm not even sure if I'm calling the right person. Yeah, this is Kim. Okay, great. I was in the neighborhood just the other day, and somebody told me that you might be interested in selling that house. Well, who told you? Well, there was a guy. I was parked in front. There was a guy walking a dog. And he said, and I stopped, we talked, and he said, I think they're trying to sell that house. What neighborhood doesn't have a dog, somebody walking a dog? Right? So you're even though we buy 10 to 12 houses a month, we still want to come off as the guy that's just buying one. Right? And the same thing with voicemails. When we leave voicemails, it's very apologetic. I learned this from a buddy of mine named John Martinez. He's very apologetic. He's like, and if we use RVMs, so that's ringless voicemail, so we don't say a name. And you can say, hey, my name is Max. I'm not even sure if I got the right number. I'm calling about a house I think you might have for sale. Now, if I got the wrong number, I completely apologize. I'm sorry, just ignore this message. But if I do have the right number, hey, look, give me a call back, even shoot me a text message. I'd love to talk to you about that house. That simple. Now, if you hear that voicemail versus, hey, my name is Max Maxwell with Cash Homes Triad. I'm a local real estate investor. I'm interested in buying your house. Which one are you going to call back? You going to call back Max down the street or Max on the 45th floor in the office downtown?
Good tips. Solid gold.
And one thing as far as like in the house negotiation, real quick, when we go to a house, the thing that I do, I also learned this from John Martinez, the thing that I do is I use a strategy called going negative. So I do not present myself as the only option or the best option when I walk into a house. I usually walk into a house and I'm like, man, you know what? Even if it smells like cat everywhere, even if it's got a hole in the roof that's not a skylight, literally, I walk in there, I say, this house is not that bad. Why don't you just fix it up and sell it yourself? Oh, I don't have the money. No, I know people that give money based upon the value of the asset. They're called hard money lenders. I could probably get you a loan from a guy I know. You can fix it up and, get contractors in here, and in 6 months you'll be on the market. I don't want to fix it up. I don't know nothing about contractors. Well, why don't you list it with a realtor? I don't want people running through my house. So you start giving them all these options, and guess who's left at the end? Right? So that's called going negative. I put myself at the end of being, I have them start eliminating what their possibilities are.
I like that. It's called Give Somebody Permission to Say No.
Absolutely,
There's
from the
a book
beginning.
on it by Jim Camp called Start With No. Great book on negotiating. All right, Martine, young wholesaler.
When I go to a house, I'm usually batting about 50 to 60%. If you want to sell it, I'm getting it. Right? Because we have options. I've educated myself. I know sub twos. I know all these other type of things. I'm 50 to 60% if I walk in your house and you're actually interested in selling, because I also have a broker that works in my office that if there's any portion of you wanting to sell this house, I got an option for you. Whether you want to list it or sell it to me cash or give it to me on terms, I got an option for you. How you doing?
Oh, turn it on. Sorry. Slide it.
front with this.
That's okay.
I think it's on now.
Green light's supposed to be on.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be on. Anyway, this is I heard you speak before and you talked about the water list. So I went out to try to get the water list, and they said I had to fill out a FOIA for it, but it had to be for a specific address. How do you get a list of all the properties?
Is it county? Yeah, so you don't. They're going to tell you everything. I had a friend that sent a proposed lawsuit to the person they talked to and the city attorney telling them that they need to give this information to them. It's literally public information. As long as you say, I'm not going to go market to these people, right? So my email to them is, hey, I'm a speaker. I am, right? I'm speaking now. I speak at the restaurants. I speak to my mom. I'm a speaker, and I'm doing some research on vacant properties in this county. Now, I have some data from the United States Postal Service. See, I've just mentioned another government entity, so they feel comfortable. I have some data from the United States Postal Service, but I'm also looking to get some more data just to make sure my numbers, my statistics are good. Now, what I need is a list of houses that do not have water for the last 6 months or more. And I usually type that out in an email, send it out to a couple of people, because usually on the city website, the county website, Waterworks, there's people listed there, the billing manager, the utility manager. You just send the email out and see what you get back. And then if you have to escalate it all the way to a proposed lawsuit, you can, any attorney will file that for you for like $300. Or you can do a Freedom of Information Act.
Right, and if you go in person, I would do the Freedom of Information.
Yeah, you do that first. You don't send the lawsuit first. You would do the request.
The Freedom of Information Act works really well for code violators also, in any kind of pushback on public records.
Yeah.
All right, hey Max.
How you doing, sir?
So what is your most effective marketing strategy for acquisition today? And I guess your lowest cost acquisition and which one has the best profit margin? That's one. The second question is, have you looked into kind of the future of where your marketing dollars is probably going to be best spent in the next few years, that you have more competition coming from companies now like Zillow and Open Door that are offering these type of products that wholesalers are offering? Yeah,
so the first answer is, if anybody's ever watched any of my stuff, when somebody asks me what's my best list, what's my best strategy, I tell them it's consistency. That is my best marketing strategy ever. You know how many bandit signs I see go out in 1 week and the next week they're never out again, right? We literally have a system where we put out 100 bandit signs every Friday evening, right? And we've been doing it for I don't know how many weeks. We may have missed a couple weeks in between there and there, right? So if you want to go after tax delinquent, you need to call X amount of tax delinquent every single week. If you're mailing, you need